Generals gathered in their masses, just like witches at black masses. Evil minds that plot destruction, sorcerer of death's construction. In the fields of bodies burning, as the war machine keeps turning, death and hatred to mankind.
Dude, poisoning their brainwashed minds. Oh, no, yeah. Sorry. Maybe I should add that part into that. I didn't think about that. I might just have to do that. I wanted to end at death and hatred to mankind because that's how I was feeling when I cut the promo, but not so much. I love you guys. Okay, death and hatred to mankind except for y'all. I like y'all. I think we can make a tribe together. What's up, everybody? Brandon Cooper, I think. Shaman Sundays. It's been a day. But man, we got a good guest. Hey, what am I doing? I'm lighting sage. There it is. This isn't gonna last much longer. I might have to get more sage. Wish I knew somebody that grew sage. Oh, I grow sage. Never mind. And probably so does one of my guests tonight. We're gonna crack lighter, y'all. Look at that. Good Lord, be careful with that. Karaoke Shaman. That's right. Hey, James Brady. Welcome home from your drive from New York to South Carolina. I bet you're exhausted. Better you than me, though. I'll probably see you next week. We'll go eat or something. Who else are we saying hello to? Russell. What's up, buddy? You're like the first person here all the time. Like, I'm glad that you enjoy watching the show, but bro, I don't even like looking at me. I don't get it. Anyway, thanks for watching. Oh, what do we got? We got Brian Wells. What's up, Brian? Love me some Brian. Do we have anything to cover? Let me think. I really don't have much that's going on in the old paranormal world. We've got Gettysburg Bash is coming up, I think, pretty soon, next month. That'll be fun. Come hang out with us. I'll be there. My wife will be there. James and Kim Brady will be there from Spirit Led Paranormal Research. And we're going to have Jim and Melissa Rupert from, I keep wanting to say Collecting Souls, but that's Collective Souls. And that was a great band for like 2 songs. Anyway, we're all going to be up there. We're hanging out. I'm not doing any speaking, nothing. I'm just chilling, and I'm coming to buy your merch because that's how I support the paranormal community. I'll come out and I'll buy some merch because that's where the money's at. Other than that, if only I knew a shaman that I could talk to. Oh, more hard to find. I wish. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to close. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And then we're going to conjure the Archangel of the Paranormal, my friend, Tomas. Yeah.
Yes, my favorite gnome in the whole world.
Yes. Hey, thank you so much for coming on. We are also waiting on your partner, the Showman. He's doing gig work. So if he makes it later, cool. If not, cool. But gig work, man, you got to make that money. I get it. I'm not mad.
Yeah, there's no money in the paranormal industry unless you're Zach Baggins, and
True.
yeah, but
True.
you still gotta, like I say, I have a normal job and I have a paranormal job. I got to do both.
Yeah, I just got lucky enough to where I retired from the military, and I've
Yeah,
been blessed to be able to do this. But if
yeah,
it wasn't for that, yeah, I'd be working I'd still be working in law enforcement.
yeah. Well, hey, you still made a very large sacrifice, which deserves for you to be able to sit back and do a cool podcast.
I got to thinking, and I'm not tooting my own horn, and I hope it doesn't come across this way, but I guess I've always been of service. At one point in my life, I was in the Marine Corps. I was a volunteer firefighter and a full-time cop
Jeez.
at the same time. This is when I was in the reserves. Glutton for punishment.
Yeah, did it
But
all.
and so luckily I can sit back and I don't have to do the what ifs.
Yeah.
And that's something good to talk about.
Yeah. Well, we're similar. They wouldn't allow me into the military. I couldn't hear in one ear, and but I did. Coming out of college, my first job, I was emergency medical technician. So
Oh, nice.
I worked the crappy streets of Hartford when the gang wars were really at high end in the early 90s, and a couple times back in the day, they used to watch the show Rescue 911, and some of these people think when the ambulance showed up, everybody was going to get saved, and some people didn't want people to get saved. So our ambulance got shot at a couple times, which I wasn't too enthusiastic about that. They didn't pay me enough to get shot at.
No.
So yeah, so I ended up going into the ER of Trauma One Hospital and working there as an ER tech, and got to work with the Lifestar helicopters and stuff like that. So I really enjoyed that. But I got out of that, got into security, moved down to Florida, got into the Department of Corrections, and did my studying because at the time I was divorced. I needed to make more money, so I kept on taking all these jobs on. So crisis management,
right,
training people, getting all this other education, and then doing, having to figure out, to profile these inmates in case something went down at one of the prisons in Region 3. We had to figure out how we were going to take control of that. And that's kind of what led me into the true crime side of things.
Yeah.
And all that I've talked about. But, the paranormal, God, I got into that when I was in my early teens. So it's my first investigation. I didn't even know I was on an investigation. Went to a haunted house in town, and that was it.
That's kind of how I grew up. Growing up, back here in the hills of the Appalachians, we just go walking, and there's all kind of abandoned homesteads and stuff. And I would always go in there looking for a ghost when I was a kid. Who knew?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I loved it. And a lot of people always say, "You do this. What's your favorite horror movies?" And I said, I really didn't watch horror movies. I think I watched one when I was little, and I think that was enough for me. And I think I never got into it. I think it damaged me for my life. But
a similar situation. I was, how when you're a kid, you sneak downstairs to see what mom and dad are watching, and you kind of hide. Well, the first movie that I did that on was Hellraiser 3. So, needless to say, and instead of turning me away from it, I am now a Pinhead fanatic. If you could see my studio, I've got Pinheads. I've got 2 puzzle boxes, 1 signed. I have the original Pinhead's autograph and the last Pinhead before they went female. I got that autograph. I'm trying to get the lady that played Pinhead in the Hulu movie. I'm gonna try to get her. Man, I'm obsessed. But I blame my parents. This is why I'm weird. Thanks, Mom.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Considering people call me the glorious weirdo, so I guess the moniker seems to fit.
But, it could be worse.
Yeah, it could be. But yeah, at 70, I think it was 78, 79, it was on CBS. It was a miniseries, Stephen King, Salem's Lot. My parents let my brother and sister and I watch it. And I was maybe 8 at the time. And I couldn't sleep for weeks. Every time the wind would blow against the window, I think the kid was coming to coming to get me. The smoke
yeah.
coming up. God forbid if it was foggy during that week. I remember. But yeah, I think I blocked it out too. So I think it was traumatic for me.
Well, and then one of the weird traditions that my mom and I had is once a year we'd watch all the Poltergeist movies together.
Oh wow!
Even when I was a little kid.
Yeah.
So, thanks, Mom. And you want, and they're very religious people.
Yeah. Yes.
And they don't like what I do, yet, yeah. Well, you made me this way. Anyway.
Yeah. Yep.
So,
I never talked about it when I got into it. Nobody knew. Even my brother and sister didn't even know. I kept it from everybody. I was born and raised in a Catholic family and all that. Right. Still to this day, some of my older relatives that are still around. We had my one of my uncle's 80th birthday today. We had a party and I went there, and everybody's like sees what I do on faith. They're all talking about it, and my aunt Kathy was like, gave me that look, because she's still very. Right. And I said, not everybody's gonna like it, but that's what it is. You still deal with that, but. Like I told him, I says, yeah, I've been doing this pretty much my whole life. And,
right.
And I don't have a problem with it. I'm very spiritual. I don't feel like I have to be in a building to be spiritual. And I don't tell anybody that they're wrong what their beliefs are. And I like to know about everybody's beliefs because you never know what you're dealing with, when you go into somebody's house, whether they're of a different faith or whatever. It's the energy they're putting into the house, that religious energy they put in there could create what opened up and how you're going to help fix it. So,
but yeah, and I try to study a lot of religions too. But to put it lightly, Buddhism helped me get sober.
Yeah.
I started reading, the Buddhist texts and, how the Buddha said the only path to enlightenment is against the stream.
Yeah. And
that clicked. Something in there clicked. And I'm like, well, if I keep drinking, I'm going with the stream.
Yeah.
And it was just this whole thing. Now I'm Christian. I believe Jesus Christ died for my sins.
Yes.
I do not buy into organized religion.
Yep.
Especially all of this. What do they call those TV preachers? Prosperity ministers.
Yeah.
I don't. No. But it also helps not to be closed-minded and look at things like I know my religious beliefs, but what's the harm in reading about something else? And if I find something that I can truly use to help change my life, why can't I just,
Well, there's a thing with me that me being spiritual and all that. If I have something to give, I will give it. And that's what I feel that, growing up, what I learned, I should do as done. But I don't, giving all your money to somebody that's already supposedly enlightened. What do they need the money for? My thing is when I have extra dollars and I have friends that are struggling, I like to help them because I think that's the right thing to do. Help the people that are having a hard time. I'm not going to give it to somebody that's supposedly enlightened and has this huge church and he's able to help people, but you need to help. That's the way I look at it. But
and I'm kind of similar. I'm not going to tell you where you can and cannot spend your money. You do what you feel led to do. But look at who you're giving your money. If it's Joel Osteen, I'm going to smack you. If it's Kenneth Copeland, I'm going to smack you.
They got enough money.
Yeah, but
that's what I grew up. The religion I grew up with and how I look at spirituality and all that. I'm not going to knock how anybody feels about anything,
Right.
To each their own. But I'll tell you this, like I said, if I have more than somebody else and they're in need and they're a friend of mine, I'm helping them.
Yeah. If I got $11 and you've got $1, we have $12.
Exactly.
That's how that works.
Yep. That's what I do. Anybody in need. I think that's me. That's me personally. That's what I do. And a lot of people say you put so much of yourself in there, do something for yourself. I don't know. I feel happier being able to help somebody.
Well, that is you doing something for
Yeah.
yourself.
It is, because I feel good that I'm able to help somebody, maybe succeed. Maybe that was the one thing they needed to get to the next level or level up or whatever. So,
And Brian Wells says it best. Praise the Lord, I need a Lamborghini, Joel Osteen. Yes. Oh, the city's flooding. Y'all don't come in my church. Anyway.
That's a funny thing. Everybody loves Lamborghinis, but you know the Lamborghini company started doing?
What's that?
They made tractors for farmers.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he
So,
was a tractor guy. He went to Ferrari to tell him how to build it a little bit better.
Yeah.
And Ferrari pretty much said, "You're just a poor farmer. All you make is tractors." He said, "Fine, I'll make my own." Yeah, I love that story.
That's great.
Love that story.
Yeah, the little history tidbits. You know me, I'm that historical weirdo.
And we will be going down rabbit holes. I don't care.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
So you're talking about your life of service and how you would rather help somebody else, which is a very good segue into what led you into being a shaman.
Well, my shamanistic practices. So I do have, from learning about my lineage, I do have a percentage of Native American in me, and I never found out it was. My mom passed. She always said she was Indian. My brother did one of those 23andMe's, and we found that out. But it's always been, always been esoterically diverse. I think, like I said, I try and take on everything. I learned a lot from people I've worked with. My former partner was a shaman too, and I learned a lot from her. I always had it in me, and and a lot of people don't know, you have to be called to do it. So it's not, you can't just say, hey, that's me. You have to be called to do it. There is a calling. People recognize it in you, and they know right away. That's why they say you're even when I meet people, they know right away. Because that's what I do. I take on, the animal world has the medicine of the animal world and those things, and just nature and how you pull it together and being able to communicate, and stave off the darkness, which is different. People do exorcisms and all that. And when you do shamanistic way, it's a little different. I'm more of trying to control the trauma of the situation. So,
well, and that's one thing people don't understand about shamans. We work with both sides.
Yeah.
So, we're as much in the dark as we are in the light.
Yeah. So, if you don't, I always tell people, if you don't know your enemy, it's like football. You got to watch the film. You got to know potentially what your enemy is going to do. You're never going to know exactly. And that's where the fight comes in. And that's where you have to think outside the box. And that's where you have to use everything that you could call on to help people. So that's what it is.
And so how long have you been doing the shamanic work? How many years?
Not that long. Not that long at all. No. I think it's a few people I've met over the years and all that, but I don't think long enough to really say I'm full-fledged.
Got it.
I'm still on my path. I think being on the path, and I think it opens up more and more every day as I practice my meditation, those types of things, getting in touch, just with my spirit guides, my ancestors and all that. And just talking to people like yourself, Lee and Blaine and all the other very few of us that we know of.
Yeah. I mean, I know several, but they're dead.
Yeah. It's a practice that's gone away, but there's a lot of different kinds of shamans. It isn't just Native American,
Right. You got the Peruvian Andes, which is where the term shaman actually comes from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you have my friend Stacia Wills. I don't know if you've met her.
I don't believe so yet.
She's of there's like a Russian descent. There's the Carpathian Mountains, the shaman.
Oh yeah.
There, and there's very little of them left or whatever. So because back in the day they were trying to kill them all off, especially during World War II and things like that. So
right.
No,
I don't think I've had the pleasure of meeting her yet. I'd like to. Yeah, there's not.
Yeah, we started a group on Facebook just for the fact of helping people heal. And it's called Born Out of the Darkness, and it's a new Facebook page that we're doing, or We Are Born Out of the Darkness. So, and that's
I'm
kind of
looking
what
that
we're,
up right now.
yeah. See, We Are Born Out of the Darkness. So, and it's funny. It's her and I. A lot of the psychic mediums, Greg Nicholas and Scott Allen, and there's some people else they work with, psychologists, doctors, everything. So we might be doing you might hear it here first. We might be doing an event next year just to help people with this. So it's totally different. So yeah.
I'm already a member of the group. I did not remember
Yeah, well,
joining.
I think I invited you, and you probably clicked on it. So
Oh yeah, if I get an invite from somebody I don't know, nope.
yeah,
But if it was you and your name popped up, I probably didn't even
yeah,
look at it. I was like, yeah, sure,
no,
cool.
because the thing is I think I invited a lot of the people that were like minded, and I think they would understand, what we're all trying to do, just something different than what's going on in the paranormal right now.
Well,
You
I
know?
will go ahead and tell you this right now. Next
Mhm.
year, if y'all have a healing circle or do something,
Yeah.
count me in.
Oh yeah. I think
Anything.
I think it might be in the Ohio area. I think there's a couple of places that we got invited, and they're opening up the facility to us, and they're very on board with it. So,
Yeah,
yep.
if you want an extra set of healing hands, dude, let me
Oh
know.
yeah, heck yeah, get you all you guys there. So,
And yes,
sure.
we can cuss on this show. It's after 9 p.m. Eastern, so you can say hell and damn and
Good,
fuck.
hell yeah.
Hell yeah, see?
Yeah,
That's
there you
so
go.
tame.
I got my rabbit hole stopped.
Yeah, you do. Yep. He was
Yeah.
showing me that backstage,
Yeah.
guys. And, that's probably where we're going with that.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about the shaman side of the showman the shaman and the showman.
Yeah. So I'm the paranormal side of it. We've talked about it before. Like I always say, people always ask me how long you've been doing this, and my dad joke is, since dirt was clean.
That's
That's how
right.
long. It's a long time. You
Yep.
know,
Yep.
and I learned a lot over the years. I know you have to be on your own path in the paranormal. You could learn from people, but still it's your
Mhm.
own path that you have to learn, and you have to make your mistakes and all this other stuff to get to that spiritual level, or that level able to help people do this. But
Right.
many, many, many years in the making, and I got together with the showman probably a little over a year ago. He had a partner that decided to do some other things and all that, and he needed somebody at the last minute, and I kind of helped him out. So we kind of stuck together. We have a good partnership, and he's very versed on the other side of things, the showman side of things.
Yep.
He started doing Beatle tours 40 years ago, taking people over to Liverpool, and then he's very into monsters, so he decided, well, just like Liverpool, I'll take people to Romania and Transylvania and take them on Dracula tours.
Yep.
And he owned a place called Fright Haven in the East Haven area for many, many years, and that's how he met his previous partner. And they decided at one time, hey, nobody does paranormal festivals in Connecticut.
Right.
So they started the first one, and it was the Connecticut Paracon. Being Connecticut, instead of CON, it's CONN. As
Yep.
you can see down there under my name, www.paracon.org, where you
Yep.
can get tickets.
Get them now.
Get them now. And they started doing that, and it grew into other things, and being the Salem Paracon, and some psychic fairs and all that. But really, when I met Charles, what's going on, Stuart? So when I met Charles, we started doing quite a few other things. It was just, I'm more being that sales background that I have. That's my normal job, and just pushing more things, advertising, marketing, trying to grow things a little bit more than they were. And
Right.
so we got the Paracon coming up in July 20th and 21st in Stratford, Connecticut. And then immediately the weekend after that, we're doing a psychic fair. We do them at breweries that kind of have that haunted theme name to them.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and the name of the brewery is in Windsor, Connecticut. It's called Dudleytown Brewery, which is a famous town in Connecticut that's very haunted. It's like a, one of those. There's a lot of history behind that. And then in August, a lot of people don't know. Everybody talks about the Salem witch trials and stuff like that. But last year in Connecticut, there was a fight in court to exonerate the Connecticut witches. And the Connecticut witch trials happened 45 years before Salem. They were the first witch trials in the New World in New England. And
wasn't there like 71 or something like that?
Well, no, I think only 11.
Wrong.
Well, 11 were hung. There was 39. I think it was 38, 39 that were accused, and 11 of them were hung. 2 of them were put to the water torture test. They dunk them and all that, which
if you float, you're a witch.
Exactly. So that happened with that, and but that craziness all came to a halt last year when they exonerated them. So to celebrate that, we are doing a witch trials festival on the historic brick road of Pratt Street in Hartford, because a lot of the witches were hung where the old state building is now. Because before the old state building was there, it was a field, and that's where a lot of the witches were hung. And the old state building is known to be very haunted, and I think it's like the energy of that time is what a lot of people think. But Hartford, was the third official city of Connecticut. There's still the argument between Windsor and Wethersfield, who was first, but those are the first 3 townships settled in Connecticut. So, and they were all had witch trial stuff going on, and it grew. It went on for, I think, like 30 years. So,
oh wow,
yeah. So there was stuff going on for 30 years, and Alice Young was the first person accused of witchcraft and was hung. But the weird thing was, at the time, she was of a lower class, of course, but the upper class, they were all getting sick and dying. So they needed somebody to blame.
Was it that, or did she have property or something that they wanted? I know that's a big thing in Salem.
No, she was still married, so the husband still had the property, but they needed somebody to blame. And I know in Salem, like after the whole thing, and people got the idea to take people's property, I think at first people saw, I could use this to my advantage, kind of thing. I think in Salem, and but in Connecticut, it was just so many different things. Yeah, there was always a property grab at times and all that, but Connecticut at the time wasn't really as established as maybe up in Salem or whatever, or Salem Village, which I guess is now Danvers, Massachusetts. So, if you want the real witch, if everybody goes to Salem, I was like, Danvers is where it really originated. So,
right.
Yeah. So I've done some stuff out there, investigations and all that, some of the old homes over the years and all that. So
that's one place I have not gone to, is up Massachusetts way.
Yeah. But we do every year, usually it's in November, but for the first time ever, we're doing it in October. The middle of October, we're doing the Salem Paranormal Horror Fest. So it's a combo of paranormal, and we get a lot of actors from horror movies. Last year, we had several actors from Friday the 13th were there. So we get a lot of them. We have a theme maybe this year too. We're still trying to sign a couple of the horror actors. But if we get these people, it's going to be pretty crazy, because
I'll tell you,
nostalgic.
Reach out to Paul T. Taylor. That was that's my buddy. He was the last Hellraiser Judgment. He was the Pinhead.
Oh, really? Wow.
And he's got a lot of good B and C movies that are actually out on Tubi, and it's all horror genre. He would be a good one.
Oh yeah, that'd be great. So, because we get a lot of people sometimes. It's you never know. You never know. I think the first year of the Paracon, they were thinking it was going to be a low number, and ended up being like about 2,500 people. So, which is nice. Pretty good for a small place.
Hello, Crystal. Hello, Crystal.
Oh yeah, there we go. Hi, Crystal.
Hi, Crystal. Hi there. Sorry, I have to pick on her.
Hi.
Yeah, exactly. You got to go.
I got to keep my microphone further away because I get loud.
I do too, but I have a habit of doing this a lot.
Yeah.
So.
Being a former singer and all that, I try and stay far away from the microphone.
Tracy Rizzo is in the house. Yeah, exactly.
Tracy, yeah.
Well, unless you're part of the new metal crowd, they eat it, swing it, eat it, swing it.
Yeah. I was a country guy, so
No, okay. Hello, Donna. Good to see you, sweetheart.
Yeah, I made a couple dimes back in the day on singing country music and stuff. So
I like old country.
Crystal, good to be loud. Yeah, I love old country too. Even now, I don't listen to what's on the radio now. I like the alternative country, Jason Isbell, Chris Stapleton, Cody Jinks, and stuff like that. Sturgill Simpson.
Yeah,
that's the stuff I like, and it's more that older style, or just more of the storytelling. That's I don't think is as prevalent nowadays as it used to be.
Yeah, it's like, let's just take what rabbit hole? David Allan Coe, right?
Yep.
And that line, you don't have to call me Mr. Mister, the whole world calls me Hank.
Yeah.
That's based on a true story.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't know that. And a lot, like most Hank Williams Sr., it's a lot of that's true story or based on stuff, and the storytelling and the way. Red Sovine, I don't know if you knew who that is, but he was spoken word country, which told a damn story that makes me cry every time. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, go YouTube Teddy Bear by Red Sovine.
Yep.
And don't blame me for what happens afterwards.
Oh yeah, that's good. That's good stuff. But you don't know the haunted story, the haunted song that was written and it was influenced by Hank Sr. So back in the Grand Ole Opry, they were filming a documentary or some kind of thing about Hank, and they had some songwriters that were trying to help out with the music and all that, and they wanted them to write a song for the documentary, something new. He's like, "What are you going to write? What's going to be that way?" And one of the writers was just sweating over it. What am I going to write? What am I going to write? So he's in the hotel. We don't know if he was drinking or not, but he claimed that the spirit of Hank Williams came to him and gave him the idea. And he wrote the song called The Ride, which is about, meeting Hank Williams' ghost and all this other stuff. And so the thing is he sang this song on the Grand Ole Opry the night that he sang it. As soon as near the end of the song, he says Hank Williams, the lights shut off. And nobody knows how it happened.
Yep.
So, yeah. So you know right there those weird things that happen and all that.
Well, did you know the where that line came from? You don't have to call me Mister. The whole world calls me Hank.
I don't know that one.
So the guy that actually wrote the song, it was not David Allan Coe.
Yeah.
It was Gary. I can't remember. Anyway, Gary, when he grew up, the guy that wrote it loved Hank Sr.
Yeah.
He told his mom, "Hey, Mom, I want to go see Hank's concert."
Yeah.
Unfortunately, son, he's already passed away. Well, I guess he was such a big fan that his parents decided to take him to Hank's house.
Wow.
And the kid gets out of the car and goes and knocks on the door. Well, it's Hank's widow answers the door, and he comes in anyway, gets a tour. She gives him a tour of the house. And he had said something about, thank you for letting me see Mr. Williams or Mr. Hank's stuff. Mm-hmm. And his widow is the one that says, you don't have to call him Mr. The whole world called him Hank.
Wow.
And that's where that line came from. True story.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
I love origins like that. You know me, man.
Yeah.
Somebody says something, I was like, I got to find out why it is. I don't
thank you. Gary Gentry. There we go.
Yeah. Gary Gentry.
That's who wrote it. Yep.
So, wow. That's crazy. I love stuff like that. So
I do too.
Yeah. Somebody tells me something, I want to know where it comes from. Like we said, we got to jump down the road. Where does that come from? Where does that story, It's like a lot of the shows I watch, it's like tell them, oh, this guy was such a great president before my time. Well, why was he a great president? What made
Yeah,
him so
can I?
great? Let me
That's
look at all
why.
the other stuff. So,
That's why I don't talk politics or
yeah,
any kind of political, because if you can't give me a fact to
yeah,
back up whatever side you're on, you
yeah,
lost me. I'm done.
yeah.
I don't work off feeling. I work off logic.
Well, yeah, it isn't just that. Even in the paranormal,
Oh yeah.
I got
Yeah.
people all the time come up to me. Oh, what do you think of my picture I took of this orb? I'm like, well, I can't really give you an honest opinion. I wasn't there.
Right.
I don't know how the house was set up. I don't know where the mirrors were in the house or what kind of lighting was used and all this other stuff that could have created that.
Yep.
If it makes you happy and you think you got an orb, then you got an orb. But again, I wasn't there, so I'm the wrong guy to ask, what do you think of my picture?
Right.
You know?
I mean,
But
unless you can send me a copy and let me put it on my laptop and
yeah,
go at it.
yeah.
I can't.
But even then, Brandon, even
True.
then,
True.
because if you're not in that home and they can't describe, okay, I shot down the hallway, there was a light from outside that shined off the mirror in that room that
Right.
reflected at the right time for me to. There's so many little things that, if you're not in there and you don't look at them right, there's so many things that people say they debunk that they really didn't really debunk. So
I agree.
yeah.
Speaking of debunking, when all these ghost shows started, it was about
Yeah.
debunking.
Yeah.
What has happened? It went from debunking to demons in a span of 10 years. Man,
Yeah.
15. But, so why did shows get away from the debunking? I really enjoyed that because it gave more weight to something when they couldn't explain it.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of it is Hollywooding it up.
True.
They think more people are going to watch it because it's a demon. But let me tell you something. Everybody knows a lot of people that are probably watching your show. Some of them, I don't know if they're into the paranormal or whatever, but the chances of it being a demon, you could probably win the lottery.
Right.
That's why they make movies about it. The chances of it, a lot of times, anything dark or anything like that going on. What's up, Greg? So,
Greg, I hope you're feeling better, buddy.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm glad you're getting on the better side there, Greg.
Yep.
But most of the time, anything dark that happens in a house that's unusual like that and pushes the envelope, it's our own trauma. We manifest those things with, like we talked about, with you overcame alcohol. It's an addiction.
Yep.
It's the same thing, with the darkness and all that. To have control over trauma or anything dark in me and you as an investigator, you have to put a name to it. So
Yep.
when people go to AA, they say, I'm an alcoholic. They put a name to it. And then they come up with the steps to be able to know the name, but still have to treat the name and overcome it. It's the same thing. If you have a trauma that's created or manifested something dark,
yep,
you have to put a name to it, whether it be alcohol, whether it be drugs, whether it be, whatever it is.
Right. Anything. Yeah.
It could be family trauma. It could be the long line of stuff happening over and over again in your family. It's that ancestral line.
Yeah, it goes. I mean, it's 7 generations back, so it's pretty far. But I'm glad that you mentioned AA because I do want to say something about AA. Oh, there's a book called As Bill Sees It, Bill Wilson, and there's a lot of teetotalers in AA. Like you can't do medically assisted, blah blah blah, whatever. But Bill W. They experimented with psychedelics.
Yeah.
And they were getting very, very good results with psychedelics and addiction. So I know some people I don't know why I'm saying this. It's just a feeling I'm getting screamed at to say this. But if somebody out there is listening to this, or you're going to listen in the replay and you're struggling and you're looking at AA, but you're also wanting to, look at psychedelics or other ways, don't get bullied by AA. I'm going to tell you what, those 12 steps are spiritually inspired.
Mm-hmm.
The 12 steps are amazing. The old timers sometimes suck in those meetings.
Yeah.
But give it give it a shot. Or there's it used to be called oh God. There's a Buddhist one out there.
Yeah.
12-step. There's Smart Recovery, which is more of a logical thing. There's plenty of things out there. And whoever you are that I'm talking to, because I don't know. If you need me, Shaman Sundays at gmail.com. Let's talk. I'm coming up on 3 years of sobriety. So whoever this is that needs to hear this, I'm available. Anyway, I don't know, dude. That just came out of nowhere. So
yeah,
I felt like I had to say it.
But yeah, that's what you do when you put two people like-minded together.
Yep.
You know, that energy comes out. The people listening, things get pulled out of them. You know, if there is anybody struggling, you know, I've been through it. I'm there for people, especially, you know, my friends. One of my friends reached out. He was having some issues, and he felt like he didn't want to be here anymore, and that was a long conversation. So, and that it scares me when that happens, because, you know, it's not like I could just get in my car and go where he was, you know, and I'm glad he's doing better now. And that's totally out of his mind now. But that's the type of healing I do, you know. It's not just about the spirit world. I like to heal the spirit world, but sometimes you have to heal us living right now, because they do manifest that stuff. And I didn't want that to turn into something bad for him, that darkness.
Right.
That thought process to rewire the mind.
I have a funny little saying. I'd much rather get annoyed as fuck with you calling me at 3 o'clock in the morning than I would cry my eyes out giving your eulogy.
Exactly.
So, because that annoyance only lasts for that little split second in between waking up and, you know, and then you're like, oh shit, somebody's calling me at 3 o'clock in the morning. I better answer this phone.
Yeah, exactly.
Because when I see it and I don't answer it, like I'll try to, I try to take a night off or something, you know, and somebody called me and I was like, man, I'm not talking to them. Fuck that. Hour later, I'm on the phone. I'm like, no, you better call. And it worked out fine, but similar situation that it's your friend was in. But, you know, I'd much rather argue with myself for 30 minutes and then call you back than I had. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I don't think I could, if I was the last person they call, I don't think I could live with myself if I didn't make that answer, you know?
And that's a big thing.
But that's with anybody you see, you know, not everybody's going to be perfect every day.
Right.
You got to be kind to people no matter what. So you could say one little thing, like you hold the door for somebody, that changes their whole day and they decide not to do what they were planning on doing. So,
exactly. Hey, we're going to take a quick little 2-minute break and then we'll be right back. Sorry about that, everybody. I have the bladder of a 5-year-old. Let's bring him back on.
Oh yeah, that's what I thought you were doing. So,
dude, it was like because I sit here and I drink these stupid Pepsis back to back, and they're not stupid if you want to sponsor Pepsi.
Yeah.
You know, and then next thing you know, I'm also diabetic, so then it hits.
Oh boy.
Anyway, probably too much information, but we're all family here.
Yeah.
But
well, the funny thing is I won't say what podcast I was on at the time, but somebody was in the middle of of something very profound, and I really had to go, and I couldn't hold it any longer. And you could see us from here up. I just
Yep.
took my cup and went to the bathroom in it. I was like, hope my microphone didn't pick it up. But
I may or may not have done that before.
yes,
It gets
you have to.
I mean, really, you sometimes, especially those 2-hour long podcasts and stuff.
Yeah.
But
nobody will ever know. Nobody will know which one it was because oh my God, I've been on a few. So, and it's always good to be able to promote and talk about the paranormal and true crime and all other stuff. So,
well, thank you, Lee.
Yes,
I'm glad my bladder works too.
Yeah. So,
Linda Judd, hello and welcome.
Going on, Linda.
I
don't know where we left off before
I was going to say, for those of you just tuning in, this is my guest. We're doing the actual interview this time because this is when it was scheduled. So we're hitting the hard-hitting questions like, who was hotter, Sigourney Weaver or Annie Potts?
Yes, Annie Potts.
I say Annie Potts.
Yep.
I'm dying on this hill. Ghostbusters. We're talking about Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Anyway.
The smart, nerdy girl is always the best.
Yes. I have a smart, nerdy girl sitting downstairs, and she's so pretty.
Yes.
Okay, so back to helping others.
Yes.
Wasn't that where we were?
I think so.
I had to run away like a little bird.
You had to help your bladder, so that's helping others.
Oh, God, yeah. I really did. Let's talk more about my bladder, shall we?
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, thank you, James. Aren't you right?
James rocks.
Yes, I love James. He's they're good people.
Yeah.
Oh, we got the votes coming in. Look.
Annie
Potts. Greg Koss, Annie Potts.
Yeah.
Brian Wells, Annie Potts.
Yeah.
We will die on that hill. Please go to my Facebook, check out my personal page, Brandon Cooper. It's if you're not following or a friend, it's a picture of me in front of a bonfire. I just started. I put that on my post. I want everybody to go in there and start a fight in the comments.
Oh, yeah. Can I make a plug right now?
You could. Hey, we can.
I gotta plug my booking agent, Adam Began. He does a podcast too, and we're talking about Annie Potts, Sigourney Weaver. Sigourney Weaver, of course, was an alien. So this week on Adam's show on Thursday night, he's going to have the guy that was in the alien mask that licked her face.
No way.
Yes.
Such a creepy scene.
Oh, yeah. So that's going to be cool.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
You got to tune in for that one.
Well, do me a favor and send me a little reminder because I will. Yeah, I was so.
Yeah, you're probably like I am. If I don't write it down, I have no idea.
I have 5 different calendars linked to my Google Calendar.
Oh,
so and now when I look at
it, do you go by?
Well, now it's color coordinated. So this is like my Shaman Sundays is like a light blue.
Yeah.
And then I got red for the home front sit rep. I got green for Tip the Spear. Mm-hmm. And I've got red for 3 Men Unplugged. See, I have to. That's that military training, man. If I didn't have it all organized and everything, I wouldn't know. Yeah. I still don't know half the time. I have to look at my wife and be like, "Am I supposed to be anywhere this weekend?"
Oh yeah. Well, the thing is sometimes when you do the international podcasts, I got to do one with these ladies from Japan, and I was like, I said, "Is that Eastern Standard Time?" It's like, you're telling me it's on the 27th. Is that the 27th? Are you like a day ahead? I don't know.
Right.
Like, when am I going to have to show up?
Is that Irina Kiko's podcast?
Yeah.
Yeah. She's been a long time viewer. She's a sweetheart.
Yeah. Yep. So that's going to be fun. So, and yeah. I don't know what we're going to talk. You know me. I never know what I'm going to talk about. So whatever you want to talk about.
Well, I'm the same way. Oh, we got some more coming in. Lee Warner. Yeah. Love Annie Potts and Pretty in Pink.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Also, I think she's still kind of hot. She was in Young Sheldon. Yeah,
that's right.
Yep.
I never watched the show, but I knew she was on there. I was like, oh my God, that's Annie Potts.
Yep. When it comes on, I'll watch it. It's cute, but it's not one of those that I've looked for. But then it's like, oh my God, it's Annie Potts.
Yeah. Yep. It's funny. I don't know. When younger, you used to have crushes on somebody. I don't anymore. I don't know.
Well, one of them had to have been, what was her name? Cindy, the supermodel.
Oh, Crawford. Yeah.
Cindy Crawford. Yeah, she had to be one of them, right?
No.
What?
Me growing up, I think the big one was the original Fall Guy and all that, and Heather Thomas. That was a big one. Everybody had her poster, so that was a big one growing up and all that. So
Brooke Shields.
no,
No.
it wasn't in the Brooke Shields. No, I think it was like the Heather Thomas. Yeah, there wasn't a lot of them growing up. It's crazy. That was like, yeah, Heather
The
Locklear,
biggest.
Heather Thomas, all the
Oh, Heather
Heathers.
Locklear. I forgot. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I've had a crush on. She was in Casper.
Oh, Christina Ricci?
Yes, I've had a crush on her since she was in Casper.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I always liked Winona.
Winona Ryder. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's probably why the only reason I watch Stranger Things. So.
Well, supposedly, I don't know if this is some clickbait bullshit or not, but supposedly they're actually coming out with Beetlejuice 2 and Winona Ryder's in it. And
oh yeah,
Michael
they filmed
Keaton's
it. They showed some filming, and they rebuilt the house up there in I don't, where was it, Vermont or something, or
yeah, somewhere.
Yeah, but no, that's cool. Actually coming out. It's actually coming out. Good. I just quit looking.
They
said, what's his name, the director there, because Michael Keaton playing Beetlejuice again, and they said it was so uncanny when he came on set, he was Beetlejuice again. Like no time went by. Like he just picked up the character again. Like
it's such an imaginative character that I doubt that it would have left his head.
Yeah.
And I bet you he could still do some multiplicity.
Yeah.
Touched by Pee Steve.
Yeah. So, what was the thing I was watching something the other day. It was like on History Channel, and they talk about all these businesses that made America and all this other stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So they talked about Netflix and all that. So they're talking about Netflix and all that, and they were going to send these movies out and stuff. And when Netflix first started, it wasn't going so well. But the first disc that was ordered from Netflix to watch was Beetlejuice.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And for those Gen Zs out there that are watching, Netflix used to send you a letter in the mail with a little round thing that you put in the thing.
It was called a DVD.
It
was not a Blu-ray. It was a DVD.
No, there's no Blu, there's no Ray.
I remember the laser disc. How about the laser disc?
Like this big around.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
It looked like an old 33 album. That's even more for you guys.
Ooh, look out now.
See, now you're knowing why dirt is still clean with me. So
right. Brian, those were the good old days, buddy.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Yeah, what were we talking about earlier before we came on air? The old equipment that we used to use. And
the little, you tell us.
Well, I started out in the early 80s. I started out with the Warrens and all that. And, I learned a lot from them. And I go do stuff on my own. And to record EVPs, I would use the old boombox, play and record.
Yeah.
But then I got really cool because I got away from the bulky stuff. So by the time I would think it was like 89, I get into college. And I had the little mini recorder, but it was just the little mini tape. It wasn't this digital stuff that you have now. And, still play and record. And so I would try and record EVPs and actually my professors. So I used to forget, okay, did I record an EVP on this? Or is this actually my professor giving me a lecture? Right. I get the tapes all messed up. And I was like, I don't know I don't categorize things. Like, I'm just not organized that way. So.
But the sad thing is technology has gotten great.
Yeah.
But the old stuff.
Used it a few years back.
Yeah. But the old stuff is still where it's at. It's because it's analog. It's the tapes have a magnetism to them. I mean, we could go all the way down that rabbit hole with with EMF and what it would put out, and the tape itself would put it out, and
But that's about knowing your equipment. And even at the time, we would use compasses to see how the EMF was moving and all that just by the compass. So it was just more in depth. There was more behind it, trying to figure out things to use. The old talcum powder on the floor trick to see if anything moved through the house, like spirit wise, and all those different things. And
right.
Just trying to ask questions. And people back in the day would use talking boards or the copyright name Ouija boards, but I never believed really in any of that.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of people say,
the trademark is dropped for Ouija, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, is it? Oh, okay. So, but I never put a lot of energy into that. And I tell people now, I think a lot of the bad things people talk about, enough people say something's bad, everybody's going to believe it. But
right.
I think it's all intention, what you put into it, what you're going to get out of it. Because the thing is, now I have a digital recorder, the same thing as a Ouija board. I'm still asking questions and trying to get a response.
Well,
but
like
protecting yourself. So
all the ITC devices are nothing but electronic Ouija boards.
Mm-hmm.
KD and I talk about that all the time.
Yeah.
Linda Judson.
How is Katie doing?
I don't know. He's an idiot.
Well, he does some good electronic stuff, but
he's doing good. I'm actually going to go. Yeah. I'll see them. I will be in Missouri.
Yeah,
the last week of this month for Hero Stock, and then I'm gonna run over and spend some time with him. He's good. I talked to him the other day.
Yeah, he does some good stuff and all that. So the TV show I'm on now.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah, an official cast member on the show, Dark Echoes Paranormal. And that's the thing is, we were talking about earlier about, some of the shows on, it's like, oh, that's fake. Everything's a demon, all this other stuff.
Right.
The reason why I agreed to do the show is because it's all real. It's no demon stuff, none of that. And, if we're filming the show and nothing happens, it's still going on air.
Right.
Just to show that there is a due diligence that goes into it. But the whole thing is there's been a few episodes out. So, of course, the cat's already out of the bag. But what the show is they bring in a psychic medium to go into the place blind. They don't know where they're going. We put them in there, and then the camera goes on and say, okay, what do you feel? So it's no preparing, nothing. You're mic'd up. Okay, what's going on? The first they were going in blindfolded. Some of them go in blindfolded them, some don't. And they have to figure out.
I saw Sam Baltrusis's episode.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then I think I caught one more because I want to watch the rest, but it was $1.99 per.
Yeah, well, if you get the Paraflix, because it's on Paraflix too, Amazon Prime, it's like that $1.99, $4 a month, and you can watch every paranormal thing you could think of. But how it's going is it's Paraflix, and then after it's off Paraflix, after a month, I think it goes on to Amazon Prime.
Yep.
But there's talk about a new major network taking it over in season 2. Can't really say. Can't say who it is. Can't say who it is yet. But season 1 was all a bunch of different people trying out different people, and then Matt Kondracki, who's like the director and he's like the host of it. He wanted to take some of the people from the first season that he thought were the best and put it together. So there's only 4 mediums, and there's 2 of us investigators besides the people that are on the show already as producers, camera operators, stuff like that. So season 2 will be a core people. So the first season I filmed 2 episodes. I know he's trying to hide me for season 2. So I don't know. I might end up on the cutting room floor the first couple, but I think I'll be on there, but probably very short. I'm going to be more featured in season 2. I've already filmed episode 1 of season 2. We're on a hiatus right now. And we're going to go, why so many mediums? Yeah. Well, you want to have the different ones because some mediums some mediums at certain places are more strong because all 4 mediums are different, like the same thing. myself and the other investigator, the way I investigate, I use my instrumentation to validate how I'm feeling because I pick
Right.
up on stuff. I'm not
Right.
really a full-fledged psychic medium. I'm an empath, and I can pick up on things, and I want to verify it with the equipment. Okay, I'm feeling something here. What's my equipment telling me? What's coming through? Am I able to communicate? And I try and communicate to what's there, and if they want to still be here. And I know a lot of these shows, you never see people try and pass or help a
Right.
spirit make the
Right.
decision to pass along. But I'm not going to give it away. But there's a couple episodes that might have happened with me involved. So hopefully it makes it on, and I think it'll be very profound because, again, it's not scripted. Whatever happens, happens. If nothing happens, then it's going on the air. If something happens, so yeah, but we just put out a new episode from Twisted Vine in Connecticut, and the psychic medium for it was Shannon Collins. She goes by Velma Dinkenstein on Facebook and all that, so she's very good. And I forget who the investigator was, but they did a good job with that one. And it's the first time he did the new style. And it's like when you watch it, if you were watching and there was no sound on, you automatically know it's something spooky and paranormal. It just gives that vibe.
Yeah.
And what Matt has done with it is incredible, and I think it's going to be a very good show that a lot of people are going to watch because it is what people want. They want the people to debunk stuff. They want to see a medium actually come up with factual stuff.
Right.
This is stuff that you could check once you watch the episode. You could check, and I've seen some stuff that made my mouth drop open with some of these mediums. I mean, these are some of the best of the best, and I'm like blown away. And just some of the stuff that we picked up. But the whole premise is you have the medium, and then you have the investigators going and try. They don't even talk to the mediums. We try and verify what the medium might have picked up in that area, and then we don't tell you it's haunted. You're the viewer have to decide if that place is haunted. Do we come up with enough, information for you to decide that? So it's interactive that way. So.
Yeah, I from the couple of episodes that I did see from season 1, I enjoyed it. I want to watch more, but in my free time, which I have none. So when
I'm on, you make sure you watch. If I'm on,
you got it. Well, what I try to do is like when I'm doing traveling, when I'm in the hotel rooms and it's just me, I can sit there and binge watch whatever. So that's when I try to catch up on stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to season 2. Like I say, I enjoyed what I saw in season 1. So
yeah, there's going to be some good episodes, and I know some of the ones I was involved in. It all depends on how it gets edited, but it's.
Linda asked, "Can you?"
Yeah,
who the mediums are?
Greg Nichols. It's going to be Stacia Wills. Of course, my good friend, who I've made a lot of hours of traveling with, Scott Allen. And also Stephen the Medium, who's not really involved in the paranormal, but he's very involved with, healing people and doing readings and all that on his own. But they're all fantastic. I mean, they pick up on stuff, and it's, I do a lot of studying before I go to these places. I know where I'm going. The mediums don't.
Right.
So I do a lot of, and then I sit there off to the side as they're filming in the green room, and I could see them talking. And I'm like, oh my God, he just picked up. How the F did he,
right.
And I'm like sitting there thinking, just shaking my head. And, it's like, it's crazy. So, and I can't wait for everybody to see a lot of those episodes because those guys were unbelievable. And a lot of the mediums were great, but some of them, it's like anything, there's really good golfers and there's okay golfers.
Right.
But they're all very good at what they do. So, there's ones that stand above the rest, the all-stars, but they're all good and they all make the show fantastic. So,
well, see, that's great. I like, I like that. Linda Judd, nice to see the guys are in there doing the psychic readings for you. Yes, that's check it out, Linda. Get Paraflix. Let Natalie give Natalie Jones your $4.99 a month.
Exactly, because there's a lot of other stuff on the network too. there's a lot of stuff like podcasts and all that. You get to hear, people's point of views like we're talking about now. But yeah, but since a lot of the shows got kicked off Discovery and all that other stuff, and everybody's off, a lot of people are doing YouTube. But this Paraflix is great for the creators and all that. And then
yep.
And for the our show to get picked up by Amazon and potentially another big carrier next year.
Right.
I don't want to say who it is because I signed stuff, so I don't need to.
Well, yeah, NDAs. Yeah, no.
Yeah, I can't talk about what happened on episodes. I can tell you who's on, because that's already out in the open, and most of this stuff, of course, takes place in this New England, Pennsylvania, New York area. So, yeah, so it's we haven't gone really further than that as of yet. So, see how the show goes. Maybe we'll travel a little further next time.
Yeah, come on down south, man.
Yeah, that'd be fun. So, just got to get people open to let us film for a whole day. So.
Oh, I got you. Come South Carolina, I got you took care of.
Yep. So that would be awesome.
What is the outlook? What's the outlook for the other half of the Shaman and the Showman? Is he still DJing?
Yeah, he texted me. I don't think he's going to make it. So
that's fine.
He wanted to apologize.
Nothing to apologize for. That just gives me an excuse to get y'all back on.
Yeah. So I'm
determined to get y'all both on the same screen at the same time.
Yeah, because there would be hijinks.
Yes.
Not that we're gonna have hijinks right now,
Right, but so if you guys did not see the interview that I did with his partner, I you know what? Let me find it in the archives, and then I will put it in the description below. I will tag it so you guys can go watch that. That was a fun interview. I'd never met the dude before, and I love the guy. He's great. We had a wonderful podcast. It was awesome. So I will, I'll link that. Linda Judd. It's Paraflix. Yes. No, the show is called Dark Echoes.
Yeah, but it's on the network Paraflix.
Yeah.
So if you get that streaming service for a few bucks a month, you get to see a lot of other stuff. So Linda, if you're very into the paranormal, there's a lot of other things you could watch and try out. But hopefully you watch mostly our show.
Don't watch anything else but Thomas. And you can watch our haunted lives. I'll let you watch
could do
David
that.
Taylor.
Yeah. David Taylor's great.
Yes.
But my episodes aren't on yet, and but make sure you subscribe to Paraflix so when they are on, you don't have to figure out how to download it.
So Linda, it's like an app for your phone. Paraflix is.
Yeah, you can do it on your TV too. So.
I think if you have Fire Stick or one of them things. Roku
Amazon, the Cube.
Fire
Cube, Fire Stick.
My Cube's Roku. On fire.
Yeah.
Hey, did I tell you about the one about the refrigerator?
I think they're too young for that one there.
Yeah, Bertie. we can't. Look, we've got backstage jokes, and then we've got on-air jokes. And the on-air jokes and the backstage jokes are nowhere near each other, so we're just going to leave it at that.
Yeah. I don't think they want us talking about spooning again.
I mean, it's going to happen. You're just going to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, why is the tent rustling? The shamans are spooning.
Yes. We'll get a picture of that next time when I see you. We'll do our picture of us pretending to spoon and that's what everybody's mind.
I will put it. I'll put it somewhere in my opening scene.
Oh, that would be hilarious.
I'll hide it behind one of the waterfalls or something.
Yeah.
So, you know what? I'm just going to pull up your paracon.org and we will show everybody.
Pull that up because that's
org.
You see that right there?
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. So our web designer.
Of course, I like it. Nobody else can see it. Hold on.
Yeah. No.
Pull it up for everybody.
Did I leave the show?
I love that. And boom, there we go.
So our web designer, her name is Melissa Sarfine. She is so good at what she does to help us with this stuff because Charles and I are too dumb to do stuff like this. And she helps us and she's the best. And I'll tell you this, she's willing, to help other people get their events out there like that. So, hit her up. She's on Facebook. So, I want her to be able to get more work and all that.
I may have to do that.
Yeah, she's awesome. So if anybody, you could instant message me. I could give you her contact, but look her up on Facebook. It's Melissa and the Surfine, Sarfine. So, yep. Got a lot of people coming.
And you got some, you got some good, let's see.
You know that guy right there?
Carl Johnson.
You know Andy Andrews?
One of the, I know that I've never met the man.
He's one of the original ghost hunters. So they have him on for
I do. I remember the name.
Then he went to Ghost Hunters International and all that. He's never done a Paracon before, so that's a good get. Because Charles and I try and get different people, at our Paracons. We do have our core people. We have a lot, but we try and make it different. So when you come year to year, you're not technically seeing the same people. You're always getting that surprise guest, somebody different, a new perspective to hear to help you on your journey or just to help you learn about the paranormal or whatever we're doing at the time. So, and I think that's important to hear from those people.
And I definitely want to tell everybody that is watching, go to www.paracon with 2 N's like Connecticut.org. I had to pull it down because it was slowing my, here, I'm going to put it
right there. See right there? I got
right
it under my name.
Do you see that? Do you? Would you look at that? Look at it. Will you look at that? Just look at that.
Yeah. I did it on purpose because that's the kind of sales guy I am,
I like
get the
that.
tickets up. Well, when they go on the site at the bottom when you scroll down, there's a place to click and it'll take you right to the tickets. So,
and you're gonna click it. You're gonna buy them tickets.
Click it and ticket. Click it and ticket.
that means something completely different down here in South Carolina.
Yeah, it could, but even if you're in South Carolina, get on the bus, come on up.
Oh my God, I don't do buses.
Get on the plane.
I will fly or I will drive.
Plane, trains, and automobiles. There we go.
I'd take a train. I've never taken a passenger train.
Mm-hmm.
Now I know if I want to go 8 hours, it's going to take 27 hours to get there on train.
That's crazy. Nah, I don't want to do that.
But I mean, I want to do one of those. Like I want to go from here to DC or something. Yep. But now I looked it up. Amtrak is 3 train changes between upstate South Carolina and Washington, D.C.
Really? Wow. That's a lot.
Yeah. And you got to pay for each train, I think.
Yeah.
Anyway, but I don't know. I want to do that one day.
I'll fly and rent a car. So.
Yeah, I would much rather fly. Well, nowadays, man, if it's not more than 10 hours away, I'm going to drive.
Yeah. But I wouldn't mind doing that. For me nowadays, I used to drive a lot. I lived in Florida. My kids are still up here in Connecticut, and I would make that drive, and then I would fly, I would drive. The drive is rough, and I think
it's nasty.
I think it gave me I don't want to drive far anymore because I used to do it all the time. When I was a singer doing country music, I used to drive down to Nashville, and that was a fucking long drive too.
No, we can let those drop. I'm sorry. We're an hour. No, we're an hour in.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the kids are sleeping.
Yeah, it's 10 o'clock now. I usually like the fucks and stuff. That's for hour or 2.
Yeah, I forget. After a certain time, I turn into a sailor.
That's okay.
Yeah.
So. I'm just trying to look at the guests. Unfortunately, I cannot share it because it's slowing down my computer.
That's all right. There's so many different ones that are coming. There's a lot of psychic mediums that are going to be there. Some of the best demonologists, exorcists. Carl Johnson will be there. I don't know if you know Carl Johnson. He's him and his twin brother were one of the original ones to respond to the Conjuring House. Right. Work with the Warrens. So they're the ones that stuck with the family a little bit longer. So they have a lot of history there. And it's always good to hear what Carl has to talk about, because he's been doing it for what, 50 years now. That's
Yep.
it's a long time to be dabbling with what makes things, go bump in the night. So, it's a lot of
I think
information.
Russell Reynolds had him and his brother on his show.
Yeah.
Which is Fridays at 8 p.m. here on Supernatural Inc. Network.
Yes. Nice.
He's got a pretty good show. I need to pay the bills real quick. Did I set up my commercials? Probably not.
Well, you got commercials? Cool.
Well, I'm supposed to. Anyway, how about we do this? If you guys want to listen to the best and unsigned veterans and their dependents in the music business, come check out Veteran Voice Radio. We've got a rock station called Ranger Rockwave.
Nice.
We've got a country station called Simplify Country. Some pretty good stuff. I am the station manager of the radio, and I'm director of operations for the whole shebang. Come check us out. And then come see. Hey, if you guys are, if you or anybody is in Rolla, Missouri on the 29th of this month, come see. Let me just make sure. Yeah, 29th of this month. Come see us at Hero Stock. We're going to have veterans up there jamming out. We will also be there. Me and my CEO will be there. We'll have a booth. We'll be backstage interviewing the musicians. We're going to be on stage, so you never know what kind of shenanigans I'm going to be doing. So check us out at veteranvoiceradio.com or Facebook.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I had a very professional video, but it's still on my hard drive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It happens. It happens. It'll come out sooner or later.
So Linda, basic right now, it's just we play music.
Yep.
However, Shaman Sundays will be simulcast to the radio station, to the rock station.
Nice.
And then slowly I'm going to do something kind of like, is it Ground Zero? The new AM. It used to be Coast to Coast AM with George Norrie. Now it's, I think it's called Ground Zero.
Is it?
I don't know. I was listening to some talk radio. Anyway, so we're going to do some talk radio, paranormal stuff like that in the evening.
Wow.
But all of this is coming up. We're just getting it off the ground. We just upgraded to a brand new radio station, internet radio. So we're broadcasting in CD quality. So yeah, check it out. Oh, and my wife. Hello, baby. I just finished Sarah Limo's psychometry class, and it was, of course, it's awesome because it's Sarah. Tell Sarah I said hello.
She was holding on to something, so it's always good to hold on to stuff and figure out what it's all about. So
yeah,
psychometry is very cool.
Yes, it is.
Especially one of my guests or a group of my guests that will be at the Paracon, Danny and Lauren Perez, the Radicals. Lauren is very into the psychometry and all that, especially she'll touch stuff and she's able to pick up things and all that. It's one of her talents.
My wife's amazing.
Yeah.
She just picks it up. Like I can do psychometry, but not on purpose.
No, that's not one of my things. I'm more, I pick up smells that tell me somebody's there and all that. And nobody else could smell it except for me. So that's kind of my major thing. And just with some of the other things, I pick up on energies that are there. And then once in a while, if somebody really needs to reach out, I do get the movie plays in my head where I'll sit there and I'll pick up on somebody and the movie plays and they're trying to tell me what they're all about by showing me parts of their life and all that. And I have to try and distinguish, okay, what does this have to do with anything? So, but
right.
Yeah.
Anna, my wife says, I was already doing it, but understanding how it works and maybe how to tap into it better is fantastic. Yeah. Can't wait. We'll use it soon. I'll take you.
You never want to stop learning.
Nope. Nope.
Yeah, you're never going to be 100% about it. So that's paranormal. My favorite quote that I made up, so you could quote me on it. You're never 100% right. You're never 100% wrong about the paranormal. So
It's true.
That's why we chase it. We're trying to find out if there's something different, but I don't think we'll ever get there. But I still think we
we'll
can
get
make an
there.
we're going to make an educated guess, but I don't know.
Oh no, we'll get there, but we'll be dead.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They'll be asking us questions that we'll be able to answer them finally to let them know what's really going on.
Well, I have a Houdini keyword with my wife.
Really?
Yep. So
don't say anything. Don't say
no.
anything.
Only there's 4 of us that know it. Me, obviously, my wife, KD, and his wife.
Nice.
Those are the 4 people that know the keyword, and that's all that's going to know it. So
it's important.
Yep.
Well, that was the whole thing. That was the whole thing with Houdini, and he was trying to see if any of these people were real. And there was one woman, and supposedly everybody was making a big deal about her, and sat with Houdini and said, "Oh, I'm picking up your mom," and she says, "Blah blah blah," and then Houdini already knew that she was a fake, because Houdini's mother only spoke wherever they were from.
Yeah,
they never spoke English, so there's no way that she could have picked up English words. But I don't know, how does.
But then again, how do
but how do they speak to you?
Well, it's the same question about what do blind people dream about?
Yeah, it is.
Or if you're born deaf, what language do you think in?
Yeah, but again, do you become more when you pass away? Does your consciousness become more powerful, where you could communicate in whoever you're trying to communicate with's language?
I don't think language matters at that point when you're in the
Yeah,
spiritual realm.
Yeah,
I think the receiver translates it.
Exactly. Somebody, you're like, "Oh, I'm picking up a female," and they show you a Rose, and you're like, "Oh, her name is Rose," and they're like, "Yeah, that's right." But sometimes they could show you, from what friends of mine have said, they show you hopefully what you understand and how you interpret it. You're interpreting it properly.
Right.
Sometimes you don't interpret it properly, but it does have a profound meaning. It's the way you deliver it. They show you a rose and you say, "Well, maybe her name is Rose." "Oh no, my father gave my mother a rose on their first date," or whatever. So totally, but it does have something to do with it. So it's not easy to be a medium. You're interpreting almost like a language, and sometimes the spirits come through and like slang. You have to try and figure out what slang is.
The only time that I think other languages should come through and do come through is through ITC.
Yeah.
Because that's the actual spirit, supposedly the spirit speaking. Well, if I'm in Japan, I don't expect the coast to speak English.
Exactly.
So it's
unless it's a spirit attached to you that you brought with you.
Right. But
we never know who we're communicating with, and that's why you have to be open to what's going on around you, know what's going around you, and have that presence of mind. If you're in Japan and somebody's talking to you in English, it's like, okay, who of my ancestors or my spirit guides is talking through this system right now?
Right.
Or who in the room with me that came with me has somebody that wants to talk. So you don't know. You have to interpret it that way.
And that's one of the biggest things I do, especially when I meditate. I spend time with my spirit guide, so I know them and they know me. Exactly. Well, I mean, they know me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's really important too, because then maybe you can pick up the intonation and the voice. Oh, that's my spirit guide or whatever.
Well, you're exactly right. You have to know, because people got to realize there's loved ones all around you. There's spirit guides around you. There's ancestors. They're all around you all the time. I don't want people to think, "Oh my God, all these people are watching me all the time," but they're there to guide you and for you to be open and hear. I tell people all the time, there's no such thing as a coincidence. Sometimes it's our family, our spirit guide, trying to give us a message, and we have to interpret it. Some of us are better at interpreting it than others to be able to go on that path. anybody, you don't have to be intuitive. When a coincidence happens, everybody gets a coincidence. So
Right.
it's a matter of stopping and thinking, okay, what's going on in my life right now? And what are people trying to tell me right now? So that's what you want to do. So,
and write down your dreams. Think about your dreams. Deja vu. Like I just had deja vu, but I get stupid deja vu.
Mm-hmm.
Like my wife and I went and we both got pedicures the other day.
Yeah.
And I had dreamed about that 3 weeks ago.
Really?
Like the exact song that I was listening to and everything.
Did they have the power sander out for your?
They did get a Dremel.
Oh Jesus!
That's really bad. I mean,
it's like the scene from Dumber and Dumber.
Exactly. I walk barefoot all the damn time. Like I hate shoes, so my feet are they match my face all rough and
yeah.
Was that it? Was that intimidating? I thought so.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Okay.
Was that your battle cry? I don't know. So.
Actually, now my battle cry is "fuck it."
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, been there, done that. Bought the T-shirt. Let me show you my T-shirt. There's my old.
Oh, I like that. I like that.
It's that Archangels of the Paranormal shirt. Thought I'd wear one today. It's one I can't sell now. I put my body odor on
it. There's some people that would pay money for that.
That would be really weird.
It would be, but the money spends the same.
I know. I am a glorious weirdo, but I think that's beyond my glorious weirdo-ness. So.
I like it. Okay, Lee says, last night I dreamt that someone made me ride a skateboard and I didn't fall. Winning! That's what I'm talking about.
Heck yeah, man. So, that says a lot.
Well, now dig into that. There's a meaning in there.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of times, you're riding on a linear skateboard and you didn't fall and you say winning. That basically means that you're on the right path in your life.
There's either a promotion coming.
Well, it's still scary that you're going to fall off, but you make it. So you're getting through your fear.
Yep.
So the fear is what keeps us back. So you're putting the fear aside. You're going forward, and a lot of good things are going to happen for you, my friend.
Well, and the fact that you said, and I didn't fall. So you're reading into it. There's a big change that you're working on right now. And whatever that is, apparently you skate through it. See what I did there?
Yep. That's pretty good.
Thanks, man. I'm going to make a T-shirt.
That's a good one. I like that. I'll buy that T-shirt.
Hell yeah. I got to buy one of yours.
Yeah.
I got to get me a Archangel.
I know. I don't. This one I'm wearing right now is like a little tight on me, but
yeah, I have that.
You could get one of these cups too.
I'm gonna get one. Do you sell those?
Yeah, you just gotta.
We'll talk.
Gotta come to one of the events, or I could send it out to you. So all the people that come to Paracon, PARACON, right there at .org. Right in Stratford, Connecticut.
Strapping Stratford.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of history in Stratford. That's where actually there's Johnny Zaffis lives in Stratford.
Yes, he does.
Yep.
And if you've never met that man, he is hilarious.
He is. So, yep. Good man. Yeah. I haven't seen him. Well, I haven't seen him. He probably doesn't even remember meeting me. I haven't seen him in about 20 years. So that's probably the last time I saw him.
I saw him last year at the Kansas City Medicon. He was out there.
Nice.
That was the first time I'd met him, and that was pretty cool. He came over and hung out with us at our booth a lot. Yeah. So,
well, it seems like every time I'm doing an event, he's at some other event. But I'm going to see him this year. I'm doing Charles and I are doing MassCon too. So with we'll be up there. I know Lee will be up there too. Are you coming too, or what are you doing? Is she going to kidnap you and bring you up, or?
Probably. That's kind of what they do.
Yeah, that would be good because
I mean, I'd like to get up there. I told
you could eat clam chowder with me too, and we could talk about weird shit.
Yeah, and then Like you could lick the clam chowder out of my beard.
That would be good. Has I spoon you?
Welcome to Shaman After Dark.
Yes.
Ah,
people are like watching right now, like, what the hell is going on?
Even Bigfoot's like, what?
Yeah.
You did what?
Well, that's what happens. You can't put Brandon and I in the same room, So
no, we're too much alike.
You never know. Yeah, you never know what's going to happen. Yeah, we're
Listen, I have thoroughly enjoyed the legitimate interview. Finally, not the illegitimate interview we did last Sunday.
Yeah.
That was illegitimate.
Yeah,
this is legitimate.
Exactly,
or something. What have we missed?
Well, again, the Paracon's coming up. And then, of course, like the weekend after that, we have our event at Dudleytown Brewery, the Psychic Fair. Then the beginning of August, a lot of people don't know the witch trials in Connecticut happened 45 years before Salem. Last year, the court system exonerated all the women that were accused of witchcraft. And we're celebrating with a big festival in Hartford. Here.
Look at that. Look at that.
August 10th and 11th. It's free.
Oh.
You just walk up on Pratt Street. We'll have speakers. We'll have vendors there talking about the history of it. So you can really learn a little bit more about that. And then, of course, after that, there'll be some events sprinkled in. But then in October, 19th and 20th will be the big Salem Paranormal and Horror Fest. So that one's going to be crazy. We usually have it in November, but we're having it in October this year. So it's going to be crazy. I mean, there you go. But a lot of people, if you want to be a vendor, if you want to be part of it, I know a lot of vendors are like, oh, I can't find a hotel. I can't get an Airbnb like 45 minutes outside of town. It's very inexpensive. Get a group of you that you know with a vent. We really want you there. So call me. I'll give you some ideas on how to get there. Last year we did an Airbnb. A bunch of us got together. Adam Began, Heather Caminiti, the Perez's, the Radicals, Nate and all that. A bunch of us just got in an Airbnb and just hung out, and very inexpensive because when there's a lot of you in it.
Yep. That's actually what we're doing for Gettysburg. Yeah. We just, all three of us couples just got like an old 100-year-old plus farmhouse.
Yeah. If you're all like-minded and you all get along, get an Airbnb, hang out, what the heck, especially at an old haunted barn makes it even more fun. So
and it's not like a half a mile from Little Round Top. It's on like 80 something acres. So, I mean, if it's just too much, we go back and we investigate there.
Well, I'm like, what? We're 40 minutes outside of Salem at the Airbnb we're going to get. And it costs each of us for 2 nights $100.
Oh, see, that's nothing.
It's like $50 a night. So what the hell?
Yeah.
So you can't get that anywhere nowadays. So why not? Yep. So what you do.
I'm going to ask you the final question of the night.
Okay. Is it the tough one?
Yes. Actually, I have stumped a lot of people with this one.
Okay.
What keeps you up at night?
What keeps me up at night is probably always hoping my kids are doing okay. That's what keeps me up at night. It's about being a father. That's the one thing. I've seen the darkness. I've seen the spooky stuff and all that. But, you never want to give away your weakness. But any parent always worries about their kids, and that's no secret. So
that's why I saved that question for last, because you can really tell about a person how they answer that question.
Yeah.
Yep. And I 100% agree with that answer. That's a very good answer. I haven't gotten any wrong answers because there's not any, but
no.
It's just a wide range of, like I've asked former CIA operatives the same question and stuff. It's just cool. Yeah. Whatever path of life, different things keep you awake.
And sometimes, just like you, Brandon, sometimes my bladder keeps me up at night.
Bro, like I'm gonna put a urinal on the wall on my side of the bed.
There you go. Brandon's bedpan. You could market that.
Oh my God, I'm gonna make bedpans.
Yeah, and put
With,
your
like,
symbol on it and all that. Yeah.
with like, and then horror movie characters inside the
Yeah.
hole.
Well, you could do the one in the hospital, that Tinkle
Yeah.
Tupperware. What
Well,
is that?
but
Tinkle Tupperware. Or
I don't
whatever?
want the Tupperware. I want like the old
You
steel
want the old?
pans.
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome. Dude.
That's what I want.
You like engrave
Unused.
it and stuff.
Unused. It needs to be
Engrave your
unused.
symbol on it. Yeah, that'd be
Yeah,
good.
I would.
Yeah.
I would. So if you guys are in the market for a bedpan, let me know.
Guys, all right,
Ladies
that one really
and
made you laugh.
Yeah, right. I got me
Yeah.
coughing.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, I believe that is all the time we have.
Yes.
I have thoroughly enjoyed the show. We went 30 minutes over. Normally I've been doing an hour, but it was so much fun. We just kept going.
Awesome. Yep.
I'm gonna have to get you and your partner on at the same damn time.
Yeah. Well, maybe if it's not early, maybe we'll have to come out and promote the Salem Paracon a little later or something. Yeah, we'll figure it all out.
Yeah, I mean,
Whatever you want to do.
I haven't started booking for July yet, so we'll talk.
Yeah, maybe like the last minute just before the event. That would be awesome.
Yeah, we can definitely. Yeah, we'll do that.
Yeah,
we'll do
I
that.
I just got to make sure he's not DJing that night. So.
Well, and you know what? I don't care. The man, you got a side hustle. You got to do it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Everybody has their main job, and then they have their paranormal stuff. So yeah.
Yep.
It's a nonstop.
Well, I'm going to end the show like I always do, and hopefully this saying means something to you that it means to me. But it's not about surviving the storm. It's how you dance in the rain. Mm-hmm. I love each and every one of you. Thomas, thanks, man. You're family now, dude. You can't get rid of it. And what?
Gotta love the gnome.
Y'all, you don't have a choice because we're little woodland creatures and mischievous.
That's right. Yeah.
So I push this button.
Yep.